Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Ashley and I am a homeschooling mom of 4. And I am currently in my 4th year of homeschooling my kids. I have been recently made aware of just how many new homeschoolers come to my channel to learn about homeschooling or watch different curriculum pieces. And so I was inspired by all of you new homeschoolers or all of you out there who have considered homeschooling or consider homeschooling to make this video. This is going to be 10 things that you need to do before you start homeschooling your child or before you make that final decision. So I do have notes down in my phone because I really take the time to thoroughly think about my videos before I sit down and film them for you guys. And so these are going to be the 10 things that I think you need to do before you make the final decision to start homeschooling your child. Now these are going to be specific to the United States because that is where I live. And so if you are a homeschooler in another part of the world, you're definitely going to want to look into your country's, cities, homeschooling laws there. So the first thing that I recommend you do if you're considering homeschooling is research your local laws. You need to understand what your state requires, what your state allows, what the rules and procedures are for homeschooling. So definitely check out your specific city, states, rules and regulations. They are all going to be different, and it's really important that you understand what you're getting into before you go ahead and make that final decision. The second thing that I think you should do before you start homeschooling your kiddo is have a heart-to-heart with yourself about your why. I've shared in my video the reasons why I chose to homeschool, which I'll link for you guys, why I started to homeschool. And I think it's very important to have your goals written out, typed out, wherever, but somewhere that you can go back to them. So on the hard days, you can remember why you started this, why you made this choice. That can sometimes be daunting and difficult, but why you decided to do it in the first place. The third thing that you need to do before you start homeschooling is obviously research curriculum, choices, different companies, different methods, but I recommend starting with the necessities, meaning like reading, writing, math, those 3 things. Everything else is kind of a bonus in my opinion. And when you're a brand new homeschooler, I do not recommend that your very first day of homeschooling ever includes history, geography, science, art, music. Like, more power to you if you're a homeschooler who starts that way, but I did not start that way, and I really recommend that you take the slow approach when you're a brand new homeschooler. The fourth thing that I think you need to do before you start homeschooling is have a heart-to-heart with your kiddo on why they're doing this. What does homeschooling even mean? Define that. Depending on age, this conversation may vary, but I did have conversations with all of my kids, the ones especially that I did take out of public school, about why we were choosing this, what it was going to look like, and we still have those conversations to this day. The fifth thing that I think you need to do before you start homeschooling is designate a school time. Not create a schedule like with minutes, but what is your school hours going to be? And then you need to look at everything that you have to do in your life, whether you are a part-time working homeschooler or you have morning commitments because your kids have been in public school. What do you need to do to have those school hours? And then you need to adjust your life around it. For me, there was a lot that I had to adjust with just like my personal workout time, and I had to quit teaching some classes at the gym. So there were some sacrifices I had to make. Had to quit going to a morning Bible study because they didn't have childcare. Those were some of the things I had to let go of. So be sure that you carve out a solid amount of time in your day and then move everything else around that. The sixth thing I recommend doing is researching some community options for you, whether that's a co-op class, whether that's a Facebook group, whether that's YouTube community here. Find some people that encourage you in your homeschooling journey in life and follow them or meet them or hang out with them. The seventh thing that I think you need to do is actually click buy on those curriculum pieces so that you have curriculum to teach your kiddo with, but don't just keep it set aside and then day one be like, okay, let's start spelling and then open it up. You definitely want to comb through it, get a feel for it. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is how it works. Try to iron a few of those things out before you actually start school with your child. The eighth thing is expect some tough days, guys. Expect some resistance. Expect your kids to tell you that they think it's boring some days. Expect your kids to tell you that they may want to go back to public school. Expect all those things. If you expect them to come, they're less blindsiding. And when you're a new homeschooler, one comment like that from your child can completely destroy your confidence as a homeschooler if you are not expecting it and prepared mentally for it to happen. So be prepared. Formulate a loose plan for your day is the ninth thing that I think you should do. It's just, now you've got that school block set out, but now you need to actually think about, well, what might we start with first? And if you have multiple kids, this may or may not take a little bit more time and some rearranging of pieces, but just get a rough rhythm kind of thought out so that you're not just grasping straws on your very first day. And then the last and final thing I think you should do before you start homeschooling your child is set small goals for your child. And don't tell them these goals. Keep these to yourself. For someone, this may be like, if your child's been struggling with reading in public school, this might be, you know, improvement in reading. If your child was struggling with being bullied and that's the reason why you took them out of public school, this might be, you know, boost self-esteem. Whatever these are, make 2 or 3 specific goals for your child for that year, whether it's spiritual goals, academic goals, personal goals, whatever they are, but for your kiddo, and let that be what you come back to often to reevaluate the things that you're doing and teaching in your homeschool. For example, for me, my #1 priority with my kids was more spiritual discipleship time with them. So when I plan out my school years, I always look at that area first. If that area is struggling and slipping away, then I know that I need to get back to the heart behind why I do this. And so having those goals set for your child will also help you keep your eyes on the prize, so to speak, whatever that is for your situation. So I hope these tips helped you. If you are a new homeschooler considering homeschooling, I would love it if you left me a comment down below. If you're new to my channel or have been around a while, you know, sharing where you're at with that, what you're considering, or if you're a new homeschooler who has taken the plunge, some of these tips might help you. And if you've got friends considering homeschool, please share my video with them. I think that these would be 10 amazing things that I wish someone would have told me. So I will see you guys really, really soon in my next video. Thanks so much for being here with me.